Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LEGO custom Jurassic World Alive BAJADASAURUS. But before that, please like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And for you to be able to support my channel, please do not skip on all the ads on all my videos. Thanks everyone! The Guess This PC contest winners will be announced later on in the video, but for now, let's proceed with the making of the BAJADASAURUS. Alright, so the BAJADASAURUS is actually made up from different parts of different LEGO figures. This one is from a Triceratops as well as that of a dragon. And as you can see here, I have already completed the sculpting and have primered it already. Now it's time for us to paint on this BAJADASAURUS. So for our references, we'll be of course using the Jurassic World Alive BAJADASAURUS. As you can see here, there are a lot of stripings and some details on the paint, such as a gradient from darker brown to lighter brown, and with some artistic license, I will be also using the head of that particular BAJADASAURUS. So we'll be using some acrylics, brushes, water, and some tissue for when we are going to make mistakes. Okay, so here we have a mixture of white, a yellow ochre, some browns, and a little bit of green. We shall be painting this on parts or lower parts of the BAJADASAURUS, including that of the body, the tail, and some parts of the neck as well. We will also be including this particular paint on all extremities. Okay, so a little bit of information on BAJADASAURUS. BAJADASAURUS is a genus of sauropod dinosaurs from the early Cretaceous epoch. It was first described in 2019 based on a single specimen found in 2010 that includes a largely incomplete skull and parts of the neck. The only species is BAJADASAURUS spinax. The genus is classified as a member of the Dacryosauridae, a group of relatively small and short-necked sauropods. So going back on the painting, we have added a little bit more brown here so that we'll achieve that gradient look from lighter brown to more pronounced brown or darker brown, going towards the upper sections of the body. Okay, so BAJADASAURUS actually sported bifurcated, extremely elongated neural spines extending from the neck. Similarly, elongated spines are known from the closely related and more completely known Amargasaurus. However, this particular dinosaur has the neural spines directed towards the front, so it looks like a mohawk. Okay, back to our painting. So here we have a darker color of brown, which we will be painting on the topmost portions of the animal. Then later on, with a little bit more lighter colors, we will add to this darker brown so that we'll have that smooth transition from darker to lighter browns. In between, I'll be drying the colors so that we won't have that messy feel on all the layers. So here we have that mocha color going on with the darker brown. We will be using this as our transition color from the darker brown to the lighter brown. So we're making or creating several speckles on the transition line here so that it's actually broken down. The transition line will also come from the neck, the bottom part of it, the right side or the upper half of the body until the edge of the tail. A bit more information on the BAJADASAURUS. Did you know that this particular dinosaur is actually small compared to most other sauropods, reaching the rough size of the present-day Asian elephants, and their neck was comparatively short. Long bifurcated neural spines were common feature for the group, although they were only extremely elongated in BAJADASAURUS and the closely related Amargasaurus. Okay, now for some details. We are now painting the neural spines on the BAJADASAURUS. These are extremely long and I want them to be a big part of this particular creature. So we're painting it with a mixture of gray and some greens. Then later on, with some details, we will be adding bluish stripes on the snoral spines later on. Now it's time for some more details. We mix a little bit of white, a tiny pinch of gray, and a little bit of yellow. And then we're going to paint the white details on the face and the entire body. So using our references earlier on, I'm painting the face similar to that of a gamsbok, if you haven't seen that yet. A gamsbok, or a South African oryx, is a large antelope in the genus Oryx. It is a native to the arid regions of southern Africa. It has a black and white head, similar to that of African mask, if you would allow it to be described like that. Well, anyways, we're moving on with the stripes of the neck. So the neck stripes are actually very much straightforward. I will be using this very fine brush, and I wanted the details of the neck to be very similar to that of the Jurassic World Alive stripes. So we're using that as the pattern. After painting one side of the dinosaur, let it dry first before moving on to the other side. This is so that you won't get smudges on the recently painted stripes. And here we have our BAJADASAURUS already painted. We will have to add just a few more details, such as those of the eyes, the nails, and so on. And that's it for our short tutorial on our BAJADASAURUS here. I hope you learned something from it and enjoyed it as well. Okay, so let's move on with the Guess This PC contest winners. And we have 10 lucky picks, and here they are. Justice Rogers, Dream Game, Miles Phillip, I'm One Tree, Mammoth, Victor Gabriel, Quincesaurus, Macarno, Jurassic Park, and Rafael Rodriguez. Congratulations everyone, and now for our top 10 winners. Aiden Stevenson, Renzo, Mechanic Tiger,
Top 7.
No CHCHC, CH Program Second King, Draco YT, Goku Trebek Shelly, Maximum Power, Alton Top, and Pulversaurus. Congratulations everyone! And I'll hope to see you on the next Guess This PC contest. For those of you who'd like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And in the homepage, just click on the community link and it will lead you to all my posts. Alright, so let's move on with the sub-bricks, my favorite portion of this video. Let's count the number of parts to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 parts to this. Alright, so let's start by connecting the head to the lower jaw. There you go. Now let's connect this to the most intricate part of this figure, the neck. Let's now connect this to the body. Now for the extremities. Let's first connect the left foreleg, then the right. Now for the hind legs. Let's start with the right this time, and then with the left. And now for the two parts of the tail. The base of the tail here, and then the tip. And that completes our BAJADASAURUS. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And now for a closer look of the BAJADASAURUS. Okay, so we have here our BAJADASAURUS all tidy up, and we also have here Eevee. So this is actually based off from the Jurassic World Alive BAJADASAURUS here, with some modifications in the painting. Eevee will be coming back later for some size comparisons, but for now let's move on with a closer look at this particular figure. Now, this custom BAJADASAURUS is actually very similar to the Amargosaurus that I did a while back. So if you haven't seen that yet, then please check it out. So it has this very long neural spines pointing towards the front, making it look like a mohawk of some sort. So I would call this one a mohawk dinosaur. It has several details in terms of painting, so you can see here that the face I have painted very similar to that of the Gemsbok. It has this mask-like appearance and with several stripes on the neck, the body, as well as that of the tail. The brown colors that you can see here actually start with a darker brown on the topmost portions of the animal, including that of the head, then a brownish taupe on the midsection, going towards a lighter brown towards the underbelly. So it can open and close its mouth, it can twist its head like so. The neck is very movable as well. As you can see here, it can actually move down as well as move up. This neck can also be twisted, like so. Definitely, the legs are movable, as well as that of the tail. The tail is a two-part thing, so you can actually move it in several ways, and you can pose this particular dinosaur in so many different ways as well, like this one. It's as if it's attacking someone or browsing on the low shrubs that we have. Of the sauropods that I have, this is actually one of the more elaborate paintings that I've done so far. Well, that's it for the closer look on our BAJADASAURUS. We can now move on with the size comparisons. And for the size comparisons, I'm bringing back here EB, my boy, and he will be in comparison with that of the BAJADASAURUS. So comparing this one with that of the actual size BAJADASAURUS, I think it's just about the right size here. Okay, so moving on with some of the size comparisons, we're actually comparing this with some of my selected Extinct Bricks customs, and this one is our Diabloceratops. So the Diabloceratops is actually based off from piece of Mesozoic Diabloceratops from Ceratopsian line that they have. That particular toy company is really good making very articulated dinosaurs for you guys. So check them out, guys, also. Okay, so we also have the Pteranodon. This little stegosaur actually has similar plates or spikes on its back to that of the BAJADASAURUS. The Pteranodon is actually one of my smaller stegosaurians so far. I think there are other smaller types of stegosaurs out there, and I really wish to do those also. So if you have suggestions on the next stegosaur for me, then please place them down in the comments below. Alright, for the next Extinct Bricks comparison that we have, this is my favorite, the Pachycephalosaurus. The Pachycephalosaurus has several, articulations to it added, so it can actually bounce around its head on something, and the head is actually very movable, and you can twist it around and so on. The family Pachycephalosauridae is actually growing up on me and slowly becoming one of my favorite families in the dinosaur tree. Well, it's now time for us to compare Amargosaurus with the cousin, I guess, of it, the BAJADASAURUS. So the spikes or the neural spines of the BAJADASAURUS is pointing towards the front, while the Amargosaurus neural spines are actually pointing towards the back. So those are the main differences that we have here, aside from the colors, and also some creative differences as that of the back of the BAJADASAURUS and also the Amargosaurus. However, both creations or both customs are also from the Jurassic World Alive game. Lastly, our comparison would be this Lambeosaurus. This Lambeosaurus is based up from the prehistoric kingdom Lambeosaurus. I just think that this particular hadrosaur has a very colorful interpretation in the particular game. And that is why sometimes I take inspiration from that game as well in terms of coloration of my dinosaurs as well as my megafauna creatures. And that's it for our size comparisons with other customs that I've done so far. Okay, so let's move on with this PC roll call, and you have here all the creatures that you've seen so far in this particular video. If you do have other suggestions of other creatures you'd like to see here on Extinct Bricks, then comment them down below. If I read them and I think that it would be suitable for my particular collection, then maybe I'll try and make them. Also, Evie here would like to remind you guys that all the creatures you see here are actually present in our Extinct Bricks playlist. I'll be also placing in individual links to all these creatures for you to just click and watch. Alright, so let's do this PC roll call. Let's start with the Extinct Bricks Lambeosaurus. This is the Extinct Bricks Diabloceratops. The Extinct Bricks Amargasaurus. Extinct Bricks Pachycephalosaurus. This is the Extinct Bricks Pteranodon. And of course, it's time to show here our Extinct Bricks BAJADASAURUS. And that's about all the time that we have here for our BAJADASAURUS. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as I enjoyed making the BAJADASAURUS as well. I would like to say thank you so much for watching my videos from start. It gives me that energy and drive to continue on with my customs. So to help the channel grow, don't forget to share my videos with your friends. And also don't forget to support our other channels, The Adventures of Allan Ignacio and Ibito Universe. Please watch their videos and support their channels well by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino